710 ESPN. This is Lakers Talk with Alan Sliwa.
Magic down the middle, just what I thought. A hook shot at 12. Good!
Anthony Davis, he's not just the present. Anthony Davis is also the future of the Los Angeles Lakers. I can't wait to see AD in the playoffs.
Your city, your station, your Lakers. 710 ESPN.
This is not just LA, but it's a brand like the Los Angeles Lakers. Everybody is going to be watching every step and move Anthony Davis makes. So it's big time.
LeBron to the rim, another one! 2 tomahawk dunks!
Lakers Talk is on. Here's Alan Sliwa.
All right, what's going on, Laker fans? Appreciate you guys tuning in a little bit earlier tonight. We're going a little bit earlier, all right? We had a Lakers game just happen. We've already played 3 exhibition games since the last time I did Lakers Talk, so you can only imagine how much I have on my plate that I want to get off, definitely want to get off today. By the way, we're doing this on Periscope, Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, so everybody that's tuning in, we always appreciate it. Let me give everybody a quick rundown. And get used to this, because now that we got the season coming back, we're going to be doing these for our post-game shows. So every time a game ends, we'll get on all our social media accounts, and it's going to be great. I mean, we have the technology these days. Technology. I don't even know what that means. But we have the ability now to grab a lot of the interviews after the Laker games and everything else. So we're going to be able to do that. By the way, real quick, what do you guys think? Do I go headband today or no headband? Headband or no headband? Yes or no? I need the first couple of answers, headband or no, and then I'll determine. This isn't my show. I'm just here, and it's all based on the responses. We'll go headband or no. You guys respond, and we'll figure it out. Okay, so this is what we're going to start the show off with. Okay, exhibition games are over, but I do definitely want to talk about. I definitely want to talk about some of these exhibition games. So, by the way, I got a couple of people saying no headband. A couple of people say yes. I'll just throw it on just because of that. We'll go headband. Wow, a lot of no headbands. A lot of no headbands, which is fun. That's okay. I get it, but I'm going headband. Okay, so real quick on the exhibition games, okay? Exhibition games, very simple. We got a chance to watch a lot of these role players for the Lakers. By the way, I have no idea what's going on with the technology in the background. It just happens, and I just deal with it. We got a chance over these last 3 exhibition games to get a chance to see a lot of these role players, and that's one of the things that I think I definitely wanted to see. So I want to talk real quick. A lot of no headband gang out there, which is fine. I appreciate that, and I accept that. But I'm already pot committed, so I'm going headband. These 3 scrimmages, I'm going to just kind of go over a couple guys that I want to talk about. I know that these games don't really mean too much. Somebody's asking me if I'm going to run full court. I can't do full court anymore. I just do half court. Half court, I'm good. Half court, I'm definitely good. But one of the things that I know that these exhibition games, they're not the most important thing in the world. But what it can do for this Lakers team, it definitely can describe YouTube's got jokes, man. YouTube's got jokes. One of the things it could definitely do for the Lakers, it could kind of showcase some players that we're not sure if we're going to see yet or if we're not. So let me start with today's exhibition game. Lakers took on Washington. And who do you guys think that I'm going to start with in tonight's show? Tonight's show, I'm going to start things off with Dion Waiters. So let me talk a little bit about Dion Waiters, because I do think these role players for the Lakers are going to be everything for the Lake Show. We know what AD is going to do. I don't have to sit here all day and talk about it. Everybody knows what LeBron James is going to do. There's no surprises to. Nobody's questioning that. Nobody's, yes, we want Anthony Davis to step up his game, but these role players are going to be so big for the Lakers that it's important to see what some of these guys are going to do. So let me start with Dion Waiters. You guys watch the game earlier today? Did everybody watch the game at noon? I don't want to hear excuses that you're at work, okay? You find ways to tell your job that you have to take a 2-hour lunch break. No. Work your job. The Lakers played at noon today, and we got a chance to see Dion Waiters. So Dion Waiters, you'll see some of his highlights right now. Dion had 18 points. He had 6 assists. On Saturday when he played, he had 12 points. So do I think Dion Waiters is going to have 18 points every night that the Lakers play? No, I don't. But I will say this about Dion. He has a specific role for the Lakers that is needed. Tell me who else can create for themselves. Who else can create for themselves? By the way, does a headband go over the ears or does it not go over the ears? Because I'm not sure. And go like this. All right. I think it goes like this. I don't know. So Dion has a specific role for the Lakers. Like he really does. Think about this. After Anthony Davis and LeBron James, who else can just go out there and get buckets? Do you guys remember Mr. Bell says over. Thank you. I appreciate it. Shiv says half and half. Thank you, Shiv. I appreciate that as well. If you guys remember before the NBA trade deadline, what were the Lakers looking for before the trade deadline? We wanted a player that was going to be tough, that could match up against Montrezl Harrell, that can switch on defense. And then we needed a player that can just go get buckets, right? A player that could definitely just go out there and just get buckets. So we didn't get these two players at the trade deadline, but we got them at the buyout market. We got Markieff Morris, we got Dion Waiters. So I'm not going to sit here and praise Dion Waiters as if he's the greatest basketball player to ever play. But what I will tell you is there's going to be a lot of times, I think, during the season or during this restart and during the postseason, where if Dion Waiters plays his cards right, what a freaking opportunity for this guy. I mean, what an opportunity it is for Dion Waiters to be a part of the squad, a part of a championship team, have a chance to win an NBA championship, and resurrect his career for another 5, 7, 8 years or whatever the case is. Somebody do me a favor, research how old Dion Waiters is, because I don't know it off the top of my head, but I want to say he's 28. Okay. So everybody that's got all these comments on here, help me out. When I need a little help, all I'm asking for is how old Dion Waiters is. But Dion, I use that as an example because J.R. Smith is around 35. I think Dwight Howard's around 34. These guys are coming to the end of their NBA career, and Dion Waiters is a player that he could be around for 5 more years, no problem, because he's technically right in his prime, 28 years old. So everybody responding 28. Thank you, everybody responding. Okay, so let me read off a couple comments. Do you agree with me on Dion Waiters? This is a player that is extremely, extremely needed for the Lakers to come off the bench and get you buckets. Do you have confidence in Dion Waiters? So I'll read some of these comments right now. All right, so we got a lot of Dion Waiters. Shout out to Pelinka for filling the holes on this team. No question about it. A walking bucket, shot creator, defensive liability maybe. Which, by the way, Dion Waiters, I think, seems like one of those players that he can be good on defense if he wants to be, but he's got to want to be. I'm not going to play off these exhibition games and say that Dion Waiters is a proven commodity for the Lakers and he's perfect. But what I'm saying is he's got an incredible amount of potential for the Lakers, and they need a player like that. So if he takes this seriously, if he listens to the coaches, if he listens to head coach Frank Vogel, man, there's going to be times where I think we're going to need a Dion Waiters, and hopefully, he takes advantage of that opportunity. All right, Michael Ponchio on Periscope. Need to see more Caruso and Waiters backcourt. Yandeezy says just calling him the total package. Lakers versus Clippers game going to come down to Lou Williams versus Waiters. Lemuel, it's not going to come down to Lou and Waiters because Lou will not be playing in this game. If you have not heard, Lou Williams went to an establishment for some chicken wings, and because of that, he's on a 10-day quarantine, so will not be a part of this game on Thursday. On Thursday. Okay, so I'll read off some things as we go. but I'll just kind of I'll put this Dion Waiters talk to a wrap here in a quick second. We can use him. I hope he takes advantage of the opportunity. He's just 28 years old, and the dude can get buckets. I mean, you remember how Lou Williams has been doing it for a while. Obviously, Jamal Crawford used to do it for the Clippers. There's certain players like that in the league that can just make it happen. He definitely has that ability for the Lakers. All right, let me move on to another player. How about J.R. Smith today? Did you guys get a chance to see J.R. Smith? Lou just wanted some wings. He did, and he definitely got some wings. Who would have known that this place? All I keep hearing about this strip club is that it's known for its food. Who would have known that people are going to strip clubs just for the food? It's news to me. I was unaware of this, so this is all new information for me. I did not know somebody's going to a gentleman's club for salmon and wild rice. I was unaware of that. I didn't know that was the food on the menu there. All right, let's go. Let's talk about. Let's talk about J.R. Smith real quick. Okay, so we got some highlights from J.R. Smith in the game earlier today, so we'll play some of those. J.R. Smith real quick. I don't know. Actually, I'm not. I still don't really fully understand what I think J.R. Smith's going to be for the Lakers. I'm not 100% sure what he'll end up being, but tonight he had 20, or this afternoon he had 20 points, went 6 of 7 from the three. Man, you know how good it is to just talk Lakers basketball again, like to actually have something to talk about. 3 exhibition games this week, but I'm not sure about J.R. Smith. I think the Dion Waiters part, I really feel there's this incredible potential. J.R. Smith, who hit 6 threes today, just shows that the guy has the ability to score. The way I think J.R. Smith, the way I think he's going to be used best with the Lakers is when LeBron's in the game and J.R. Smith is kind of chilling in the corner. He's got a lot of playoff experience. He's won an NBA championship. So those are the ways that I think J.R. Smith's going to be used, and I think could be used obviously to the Lakers' advantage. So J.R. Smith had a great game tonight, or a great game this afternoon. How he's going to be moving forward, I want to honestly say that I'm really not sure how J.R. Smith will eventually play out. But you got J.R. Smith as an option now, and you got Dion Waiters as an option. And with Rondo and Avery Bradley out, that's some great luxury to have. JR is a true shooter, says Shine. Deshaun Jones, he's not scared of big games. Let's stay with that for a quick second. By the way, I love when you have some comments. You bring up so many different points on, points that I want to make. J.R. Smith's been there before. You guys remember watching J.R. Smith in the finals? J.R. Smith is, was it Deshaun? Deshaun can't be more right than when he says he's not afraid of the big moments, the big games. He's unconscious when it comes to that stuff. He doesn't care. It's not a big deal to J.R. Smith. You want players like that because there's a lot of players in the league, they might be thinking twice, They're at the free throw line, they're thinking twice, something along those lines. Sometimes J.R. Smith's not thinking at all, but it uses many times it's also used to his advantage. So with all that being said, we'll see how J.R. Smith does, but 6 threes for the Lakers earlier today. All right, Michael Mays on Facebook. J.R. Smith is a flip of the coin that he will go off the mental rails. Okay, see what happens with J.R. Smith. Kuzmania says on Periscope, JR will hopefully be there when Dion is having an off day. Here's the thing. They don't have to play together. I think J.R. Smith, you're going to see him more when LeBron's in the game. Dion Waiters probably gets more PT when LeBron's on the bench. Some of the Lakers' key guys are on the bench because that's when the Lakers are missing that offensive punch, and that's when a guy like Dion Waiters can be there. Kingman 310, JR is a wild card. Hope he stays focused. Same for Dion. Okay, so that I think that will describe in these exhibition games. We got to see J.R. Smith. We got to see Dion Waiters because we hadn't got that opportunity. So it's good to see them in these, obviously in some of these exhibition games. Okay, can I go back? I want to go back one game. Alex Caruso, I could talk about. Caruso had 17 today. He said he's feeling good. I asked him in the post-game show. Said he's feeling good. It's going to take some time. But he said he got a little winded today. He went like 9 minutes in a row. Remember, he didn't play in the first exhibition game. I don't want to spend too much time on Caruso because I feel like the last couple of weeks I've done that. Caruso's going to get big minutes. Don't worry about Alex Caruso. The guy will be fine. He looks ready for the moment. I want to go back. Two games. Actually, real quick here. See what we got here. Look at Caruso on defense. Nice pass to I think that was to KCP. So I got faith in Caruso. And I think Caruso is kind of at a stage now where his confidence is growing. His confidence is growing on his jumper. His confidence is growing as a playmaker. I mean, look at these passes here. Great plays. Beautiful move, by the way. What was that? Hell was that right there? But his confidence is growing, and that's all you want to see from Alex Caruso. So I think that's going to be, I think that's definitely going to be big for the Lakers. And I think Caruso is going to get a lot of playing time. Actually, I love how I said I don't want to get into Caruso, and then I sold myself on talking about Caruso. Let me say this, Coach, at the end of the game today in postgame, he said Alex Caruso will be critical to our championship run. I don't know if it was word for word by that, but that's pretty much that's right. It was K-Cock on that beautiful spin move. But he said that it was critical that Alex Caruso is going to be a critical piece. So that just tells you right there, Caruso is going to be in big time minutes. We know how he plays with LeBron James. We know that he has no problem making the extra pass, slashing to the basket, playing defense, diving for loose balls. Don't worry about Caruso. By the way, that jumper is wet right there. All right, Carlo, by the way, fantastic highlights that I can actually see some of these and go with it. I feel like this is a TV broadcast here. So that's what it is with Caruso, and we'll get that opportunity to talk about Caruso. But I know there's one player that Laker fans enjoy talking about. When I'm done with this, I'm going to preview Lakers versus Clippers, so I'm going to get into that. You guys get a chance to watch Kuz on Saturday? You guys get a chance to watch Kuz on Saturday. So today on a Monday, we had a game at noon. Saturday, we had a game at 9 a.m. I have a lot of faith in Laker fans that it doesn't matter what time the game's at. It doesn't matter if it's a weekend. It doesn't matter if it's a weekday. The Laker fans are watching these games. So Kuzma on Saturday had 25 points for the Lakers. 25 points for the Lakers on Saturday. So I want to point that out for a quick second because Steve Mason, who obviously is with Mason in Ireland, and we did our crosstalk today, and I heard Mace saying that if Kuz goes off, has a great playoff run, nobody's stopping the Los Angeles Lakers. And I never really looked at it that way. Kuz has been, obviously an inconsistent player during the season. I do post-game shows, as you guys know. I would do the post-game show, and then I would do the post-game show after the post-game show, which you guys are aware of here. And there'd be games where I talked about Kuz one game, and then I would go 2, 3, 4 games without talking about Kuz. Or if I talked about him, it was because where was Kuz? We're not seeing his production enough. He's got to be doing more. There's those types of conversations with Kuz. So I want to say this real quick about Kuz. Kuz had a fantastic game on Saturday. Let me tell you my favorite part about Kuz. He had 25 points. Okay, that's great. Do you know how many shots Kuzma took? You know how many shots Kuzma took on Saturday? This was my favorite stat of what I saw from Kuz. By the way, he had 7 rebounds too, which was great. If you know how many shots Kuz took, throw it in the comment section here, okay? Kuz took 13 shots. Started 6 for 6 from the field. So Kuz started 6 for 6, ended up with 25 points, but he didn't take 25 shots to get to 25 points. He took half that, took 13 shots. So that's the one thing I enjoyed and appreciated watching Kuzma on Saturday. It's great to see him hit the shots, but more importantly, he wasn't taking bad shots. He wasn't taking ill-advised shots. He was taking the right shot. And typically for a player like that, who's such a rhythm player, you take the right shot, you're going to have a better chance at your result. And I thought Kuzma did that. So you got to appreciate, obviously his performance on Saturday. The key is going to be just having a game where, he does it on a consistent basis. So I asked how many shots did Kuz take. He YS12, Keys 12 said 130. Thank you, man. I appreciate your contributions to the comment section. All right, let me read off a couple here. Michael Mays, Kuz can't take Bron's and AD's points. He has to fill in the other columns. Man, so true. So true. And so much better than Keys 12 that contributed with 130 for his amount of shots that he took on Saturday. Listen, Anthony Davis only played 9 minutes on Saturday. So that has part to do with the fact LeBron played in the second half. Yeah, he did play in the second half. That has part to do with the fact that, I don't know if that all made sense right there, but that contributes to why Kuz had the 25 points. Because we've seen Kuz, when Anthony Davis isn't in the game, he flourishes. Or if LeBron's not in the game, he gets, chances to get buckets, gets more of a rhythm. But what the Lakers need from Kuz is to flourish no matter what predicament is there. Because AD is going to be in these games. He's going to play 40 minutes, as is LeBron. So Kuz is going to have to find ways to contribute. If Kuz in the playoffs is giving you 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists, Kuz is having an amazing playoff run. It doesn't have to just be 25 points. He has to find, obviously different ways to be effective. Oscar Morales, Kuzma was very effective on his shot. Jay Smooth, Kuz play game. We have the big three. I'm not one of those to claim Lakers have a big three at all. Like at all. I think that there's such a drop off after Anthony Davis and LeBron. But Kuz has got a lot of work to do if he's going to be number 3. I'll tell you what Kuz is going to have to be if we're going to call him number 3. He's got to show up every game. It can't be once every other game. By the way, it's not just Kuz. There's times Danny Green, I haven't mentioned Danny Green's game in 3 games. Like, this happens to a lot of players and vets, but Kuz has got the most potential of all these, bench players that the Lakers have. Okay, real quick. Let's do some roll call. Where are we tuning in from? If it's the first time you've ever been a part of the show, and there's going to be a lot more of these shows now with Lakers basketball coming back, let me know where you guys are tuning in from. So that's all you got to do. Any part, could be any part of the country, any part in LA, any part in the world. I know we typically have people from everywhere. Preseason fist pump. All right, there's a preseason fist pump right there. Oh yeah, Lakers won. Lakers won. We got to give the fist bump when the Lakers win. So that obviously is that's where we are right now. All right, Jay says Atlanta. I don't know if I believe him. I feel like he's just doing that because of the Lou Williams. Thomas says Atlanta. I don't know if I believe him. Sharvan is tuning in from India. Thank you for being a part of the show. Maryland in the house. Zimbabwe in the house. Hawaii, Redondo, Montreal, Boise. Now I have people really claiming they're all from Atlanta. East LA in the house. Thank you for tuning in. Dallas, appreciate you tuning in. Kingston, Jamaica, thank you for tuning in. That's awesome. Okay, so I'll keep reading these as we go. Eagle Rock. It's choked right there, guys. Eagle Rock has, what's that pizza place called in Eagle Rock? Brazil, thank you for tuning in. Philippines, Mississippi, Vegas, Manila, Charlotte, Kansas City, Chicago. Thank you all for tuning in. Santa Ana, I appreciate you tuning in as well. Okay, so let me give a little preview here. Little preview here for Lakers Clippers coming up this. Actually, do I want to do Lakers Clippers? Carlo, do you want to do the Kobe thing real quick? I'll do this Kobe thing. Do you guys see this coming out of Philadelphia? San Diego, thank you for tuning in. I got a few people tuning in from Magic City. Thank you for doing this, being a part of the show while you're out there. It means a lot. Lakewood, and then a whole bunch of other comments that I'm not going to read off. Okay, so let me read the story real quick before I preview the Lakers and the Clippers coming up this Thursday. How crazy is that to actually talk about the Lakers and the Clippers? Okay, so the Eagles installed a new Kobe Bryant mural wall at their practice facility. So I don't know if you guys have got a chance to see this, but go on ESPN Los Angeles, and they tweeted it out. Kobe's 10 rules. Can I read off these Kobe's 10 rules? I'm sure there's no Laker fan that doesn't want me to, not read this. It says, so these are Kobe's 10 rules. This is going to be installed in the Philadelphia Eagles, their practice facility. Obviously, Kobe Bryant grew up in Philly, went to high school Lower Merion, which is in Philadelphia. So, first of all, I think it's so cool that they're doing this. I love the idea. And Kobe is so incredibly well respected in every sport. It's obviously not it's not a surprise like something like this happens. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing more of it. Philly, I'm assuming the first one to do it. Kobe's 10 rules. Get better every single day. Prove them wrong. Work on your weaknesses. Execute what you practice. Learn from greatness. Learn from wins and losses. Practice mindfulness. Be ambitious. Believe in your team. And learn storytelling. So those are Kobe's 10 rules that the Eagles are putting up. I love it, man. So much respect to Kobe Bryant. Obviously, I think it was just yesterday that was 6 months. That was the passing. Kobe Bryant passed away on January 26th. So it's been exactly 6 months. And, look, it will never not be incredibly tragic and sad, but I do love that there's a football team out there, an organization out there showing love to Kobe Bryant, and that's what they're going to have there. So that's amazing to see. So you appreciate seeing that. Okay. So I'm going to go into real quick a quick preview of the Lakers and the Clippers coming up this Thursday and what we should be expecting. So what should we be expecting on Thursday? Lakers got by the way, all the comments on here for Kobe. I know there's a ton of them, so you guys can feel free, do that anytime, and any excuse we get to talk about Kobe, we're going to do it. So, okay, what should we be expecting on Thursday? Lakers taking on the Clippers, and this will be the restart of the season. And they're calling them the seeding games. So every time I say regular season, I guess I'm wrong. They're the seeding games to figure out where you're going to be. So I think I have a pretty good idea of what to expect on Thursday. Lakers got a 5.5 game lead in the Western Conference. There's only 8 games left to play. Do I think the Lakers are going to be treating this game the same way they treated that game March 8th against the Clippers at Staples Center, Clipper home game? The place was just jumping. It was an incredible atmosphere. Everybody thought in that game, Lakers and Clippers, oh man, how great is this going to be? This is going to be a 7-game set, Staples Center, Western Conference Finals. Well, put that all to the side. No, it's not going to be like that. And it can't be like that just because of the circumstances. But what I will say is I think the Lakers will continue to use these regular season games to get ready for the postseason. Now, I don't know if I feel like the Lakers are going to come out and try and send a message, because I don't think the Clippers are going to try and come out and send a message. So I know for somebody who's as excited about that game as possible, this is a big game for the NBA. I know I'm not promoting it as if it's going to be this spectacle where it's so meaningful to both teams. But I do feel from a strategy perspective, I'm not surprised if the Lakers just they're a little bit more chill on this game. And the Clippers are a little bit more chill on this game. I wouldn't be surprised if that's obviously the case. What do you guys expect? Do you guys expect this to be a game that, the Lakers and the Clippers are trying to, do you expect LeBron to be playing 35 minutes, AD to be playing 35 minutes, Kawhi, Paul George? Or do you think this is one of those games where both teams are playing tough, maybe the first half through 3 quarters, and then just kind of take their foot off the gas a little bit, and they let their role players come in and try and finish the game? I don't know how serious the Clippers are going to take, this game. I don't, just simply because if it goes similar to the way the regular season was, they never even played. They didn't play all those games. At least the Clippers didn't, where each one was meaningful. Okay, so with that question, I got Ant the Scat 19 said Allen's in better shape than Jared Dudley. What does that have to do with what I was just talking about? Ant. Let me read a couple more of these. Key says Lou Williams will score 0 points. You're right about that. That part, you're right. Okay, Bishop Alexander says Lakers blow out the Clippers. Hassan Tarif says Lakers win by 20. All right, so a lot of Laker fans on here think that Lakers will be taking these games serious. By the way, I'll just let you guys know, regular season was about to start, and I didn't think the Lakers were going to come out and lead the Western Conference by 5.5 games. I thought they would pace themselves. It was all about the postseason. So I was dead wrong on that. And, maybe the Lakers treat these seeding games very importantly to just get themselves prepped for the for when the postseason starts. All right, you guys got any questions? Now's the time to list them as we start kind of wrapping things up here. So if you got any questions for me, any topics that you want me to get into, Lakers and Clippers coming up this Thursday. We got a chance to see Dion Waiters, Kuzma, Caruso. A lot of these exhibition games. We got a chance to see a lot of these players back. I'm excited. I think the Lakers. I think it's going to come down to Lakers and the Clippers. By the way, I think that Milwaukee is, in my opinion, I think whatever team comes out of the Western Conference, as in the Lakers or the Clippers, that's the team to beat. But damn, do I feel good about the Lakers right now. I love their vibe. I love their chemistry. Watching these games on TV, they're all rooting for each other. You could tell that, they all have a lot of love for each other. Guys, take it easy on Dudley. All right? Give the guy a second. They're just getting back into this thing. All right. Let's see what we got here. How is AD's eye? Didn't he get poked? He did. I heard Trudell talking about it on Spectrum earlier today. They expect him. Definitely did look bad, but they expect him to be okay. Favorite wings flavor? Come on, guys. We all know the best wing flavor. All right? Let's not even – this isn't an argument. Okay? Buffalo. That's the best one. The buffalo sauce, kind of a little bit more on the spicier side. What did Lou go with? He went with a lemon pepper or something like that. That's a solid one too. Don't get me wrong, that's a good one. It's just not better than the other one. All right, what's your ultimate feeling on Smith and Waiters? Waiters got some potential. He's got some big time potential. He's got a lot of potential. I hope he puts it together. I really do. I hope he puts it together. I really, really do hope that. All right, do you feel the NBA will finish the season? Yeah, I do. I don't know about Major League Baseball. Baseball a couple days ago, I was like, oh, everything's great. They haven't even started traveling yet. And they got, one team with 13 positive tests. So that part I fear. I definitely fear. All right, a couple more here. We'll get the hell out of here. Call it a day. Okay. All right. I think we're good. All right, Laker fans. Thank you. We got comedians all over the place. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Lemon pepper chicken wings. That's what it was. Lemon pepper chicken wings. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Get ready for a lot more Los Angeles Lakers talk. We're back. This was always the intention, but because obviously things just stopped, it was we're ready. Let's put it that way. We're ready on our end, and I'm sure Laker fans are as well. So we'll continue to do this. So thank you for being a part of the show. A little bit later tonight, remember at 10 o'clock, the Kamenetsky brothers will be on with their happy hour show. I got my show tomorrow, Sliwa show, from 6:30 to 9 with Kirk Morrison. Brian Windhorst is going to join the show. Why do some Laker fans they think Brian Windhorst is so one-sided. I love Windhorst. I think Windhorst is amazing. He's coming on the show. He had actually a really good article on what the financial impact of next year is going to be. And we'll spend some time to talk about that. So thanks for tuning in. Have a great rest of your night. For those that didn't want the headband, I could do what I need to do. All right. Sometimes you got to throw a headband on. Sometimes, you don't do it. Tonight it was necessary. Thank you for tuning in. We'll get back at you guys. This Thursday, we'll get back at you guys. So after the Lakers play the Clippers, we'll do another one of these post-game shows. Thank you for tuning in.